certainly in a sort of niche market of renting family members, yes, it's new to a Western or European audience, and it does, on the surface, seem quite curious, even preposterous, but when you look a little bit deeper, you're going to see that it really fulfills a need for people.
When did you two first meet?
I was impressed because I was late to the meeting and I couldn't find parking anywhere in that neighborhood. And she said, oh, just leave it with the guys up front. And I'd already tried that. And they're like, no, get out of here. But Hikari called, so they're like, give me the car. I was like, all right,
VIP.
She's got pull. I can do this.
Incredible.
You know, it's interesting because I personally did not know about the business. There have been a business that you can rent a girlfriend, you can rent advisor, you can rent a man to just give you a life lesson, or you can rent a lap so you can put your head down, right? So there's a lot of business like that. But the family in particular was something that I was shared by my co-writer, who was randomly looking at the job for American to do in Tokyo or in Japan, and English teacher, this and modeling, and being this, the actor was one of them. Wow. And that's how we find out. And then we started doing all the research, and we find out this article, and it was like, oh my goodness, this is a whole thing that I didn't know anything about. And yeah, and then we just went in on deep research, and we interviewed a lot of people who worked in the business as a surrogate to the people who actually be somebody who rents those actors.
I knew that in Tokyo, just about anything is possible.
Yeah.
Insofar as getting needs fulfilled, it's unique in that way. And the need to connect with what they didn't have, and if even someone's standing in for just a little while, it fulfills that. But the curious part, and why we made a movie about it, is because, well, what happens after?
Yeah.
What happens when people catch the feels for each other? What happens when it's not such a ruse any longer and it's for real? So deconstructing that is what you see on screen.
Yeah.
Did you have anything in mind for what you wanted to do next, and especially like coming off of like the year you had with the whale and stuff? Like, what were you?
No, I was looking for a job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, you've got so many offers.
I did not have a shiny little man in my possession at the time that I saw this material. It was an obscure script. I thought, well,
You're
this
so
is
humble.
No, I'm telling the truth. Like, this is the kind of thing that I know that typically Hollywood and agents would go, all right, and you relegate it to this sort of niche filmmaking. That's what I wanted. I wanted it because it was unique. I wanted it because we hadn't seen this before. And I wanted it because I'm I'm very selfish and I like to travel.
Yeah.
And I knew we'd go to Japan.
But did you have any questions for him that you needed answered to know he was going to do X, Y, or Z right, or like you were sold immediately?
I always go with my gut. That's how I just navigate my life, has been ever since I was a little kid. And when I saw him on this giant screen, he was like 35 feet tall, or whatever the big size was. I just knew it. I was like, oh, there's my Philip. And you know how charming and caring and he was to everybody. I really wanted him to learn Japanese, which he already says, like, I want to learn Japanese. I was like, okay, great, check mark. And would you like to come to Tokyo? I'm gonna be there 2 months, whatever, I'll be there, check mark. And it was just so easy. It was so easy and so, I mean, he's so collaborative. And it just like, it was such a huge collaborating process that I just could not ask for any more greater actors and friends.
She's very talented.
Brendan.
By the way, seriously. I had great people to work with, surrounded all the other actors. Yeah. Starting with Shannon Gorman, who plays my surrogate daughter. She's a real find. You'll be hearing more about this kid later. Akira Imoto, who is
Legend.
a living treasure in Japan.
Takehiro
Hira. They were a family already, and they welcomed me into it. It didn't feel like going to work per se
But
for that reason.
He's the, we call it hashira, the main person, and then we're to gravitate towards him, and then you just made everybody so easy on set and very kind, and yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Shucks.
Shucks. Well, thank you guys so much for answering
Thank you
my questions.
so much.
I appreciate it.